Very good morning, students. Welcome back to online revision classes. We are going to start a revision class 12. I hope so that all the revision class 11 classes is clearly understood by you people. Let us see what are the topics we are going to cover in today's revision class 12. The same warning note for the students for all the revision classes. Note, this information is for the students, not to skip the videos for the betterment of the students to understand the revision concepts. First, the previous theory classes of a particular topic was being covered. Those videos will be played and followed by that revision concept on the same topic will be carried out. Now, we'll see that what are the topics we are going to cover into today's session. Topics to be covered in revision class 12. Definitions for queues, types of queues, operations on queues, memory representation of queues using arrays. Fifth topic, memory representation of a queues using linked lists. These are the topics which you are going to cover in today's revision class 12. Let us see in brief in all the topics.
Morning students, welcome back to our online classes. So we were discussing about the chapter data structure. In the last session we discussed about stacks. So now we turn our attention to another linear data structure, that is queues. Moreover, stacks and queues are pretty much similar, but there are differences between stack and queues. Queues is also a linear data structure where the insertion takes at the one end, that is called as rear end, and the deletion takes at the another end, we call that end as a front end. So before getting into the definition, I repeat that queue is also same as your stack. It is a kind of linear data structure where the insertion and deletion takes place at two different ends. Whereas in stacks, the insertion and the deletion takes place at the same end, which we call it as a stack top. Now let me give you the definition. So the definition says that a queue is an ordered collection of items. It is again a linear data structure, and it is an ordered collection of items where the item is inserted at one end. We call that as a rear end, R-E-A-R. Okay, we call the end as rear end where we insert the element. That end is called as rear end, and existing item is removed at the other end. We call that end as a front end. I repeat, the insertion takes place in queues, we call that as rear end. The deletion takes place, we call that as the front end. So queue is maintained in a FIFO order. So I told you in the stacks it is maintained in the LIFO order, last in first out, whereas queue is called as first in first out. It is maintained in a first in first out order. FIFO, we call it as FIFO order. FIFO stands for first in first out. Q stands in stacks, it is last in first out. I can give you the best example for queues is students standing in the food court. So when students are standing in the food court, when the food is served, the student moves out. So first come, first serve. Okay, who comes first, they will be served first. The student who are standing in the food court is the best example for queue. Now I have taken a queue example for queue. So here I am inserting an element. So in the to rear end I have inserted first A, B, C, D, E, F. So what is the element which I have inserted first is A. So when I delete from the front end, which element is popped up? A first, then B, then C, then D, then E, then F. So this is a kind of first in, first out. So what element I have inserted first, that will be popped first. I repeat, what element I have inserted first. Now A I have inserted first, now A will be removed first. So only that is the main difference between stacks and queues. Both are linear data structure, but there we have a single end that is called as stack top. Here we have two ends that is called as rear end and front end. Through rear end we insert the elements, through front end we delete the elements. Okay. Next we'll see the types of queues. So I repeat, we were discussing about queues, so don't get confused. What is the definition for queues and stack? I just said stacks, I told you it is in a LIFO order, last in first out. Queues that is in the first and first of FIFO order. So for the stacks we have only one end that is called as top. For Q we have two ends. One is called as rear end where insertion takes place. Next is called as front end where deletion takes place. I repeat. Stack is also a linear data structure. We have discussed in the last class. It works in LIFO order, last in first out. Example, we are seeing the stacks of trays, stacks of plates which are used in the cafeterias or in the food court, and even your bangles. So what you insert first when you are removing the bangles, we will remove at the last. So that is last in first out. For Qs, I have given the examples. The students those are standing in the food court. So first come, first serve basis. So those who come first, they will be served first. So for this we have two ends, rear end and front end. Front end where they will use to insert the element, rear end where we use to insert the element, front end where we use to delete the elements of the Qs. Okay. Now we have to see types of Qs. So we have four types of Qs. This is again your final question. Please make a note of it. So they'll ask you the types of Qs. Okay. What are the types of Qs? We have simple Q, circular Q, priority Q and double-ended Q. So what are the types of Qs? We have simple Q, circular Q, priority Q and double-ended Q. We also call it as DQ. Okay. Next, we'll discuss one by one. So first I told you a simple Q. In simple Q where we used to insert the elements in this order, I tell you the simple Q. So simple Q, if you understand, rest all it will be easy. When I talk about simple Q, see, I have inserted the elements. Through which end we will insert? We insert the elements in the rear end. So in the rear end I have inserted the elements A, B, C, D. So the front end I will delete the elements. Okay. This is about a simple Q. So next I will discuss about circular Q, priority Q and DQ. Next we were discussing about types of Qs. First I spoke about simple Q. Next we will discuss about circular Q. So in a circular Q is again a type of Q where the first where we inserted, the first will point to the last, the element which we inserted at the last, that will be pointing again to your first node. So here you see in the circular Q, I am inserting the element. So once I inserted this my fifth node, imagine my Q is ending here. Again it is in a circular fashion. Again it is pointing to my index 0. So here I start inserting the element. Now my index 6. Again it is pointing to the first node. It is pointing to the first item. I can tell circular Q is a Q with the last item again it will be pointing to the first. Okay, the last will be pointing to the first element. We call that as a circular Q. Next we'll see we have discussed two types of Q, simple Q and circular Q. In simple Q what it tells, we are inserting the elements at the rear end, we are deleting the elements at the front end. Where the addition of element takes place at the rear end, removal of addition takes place at the front end. In the circular Q again it is a type of Q where the last element will be followed by it will just follow your first element. So the index is as, for example, I started with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again this is pointing to your first element. This is nothing but your circular Q. See, it is like this in this order where your last index again it will be pointing to your first index. So it works in a circular fashion. This is called as the circular Q. Next we will see priority Q and DQ. Students, next we will see about priority Q. This is your third type of Q. We have seen four types of Q: simple Q, circular Q. Now we will see priority Q. In the priority Q, based on some priority, we are going to insert the element, and the deletion also takes place based on some priority. It's we people we are going to also assign some priority. Based on some priority, the elements enters into the Q, and based on some priority, we are going to delete the elements into the Q. Now here you see, imagine this is my priority box. So here I have given for this set of elements, for example 30 and 40, 0. So 0, this is having a highest priority. So I am assigning some highest priority. Based on this priority, we can do the operation. Either we can remove it first or either you can delete, pop it out first. It's upon your choice. So based on some priority, we are going to insert the element into an array. Here I am telling 0, 0. Here it is this 30 and 40. 30 and 40 I am giving it as to highest priority. The element 30 and 40 goes to the highest priority. Then 11, 20 to 30 I am giving the next priority. I am giving the least priority to 99. So this priority is being assigned by us for our convenience. based on some priority, we are going to insert and delete. So priority queue is a queue in which we assign the priority where 30 and 40 I give it as take it as highest priority. 11, 22, 33 I am giving the next priority, next highest priority, and 99 I am giving the least priority. This is about your priority queue. Okay, next we'll discuss DQ or double-ended queue. Next we'll discuss about DQ or double-ended queue. DQ or double-ended queue. The name is self-explanatory. It tells us a queue will have both the ends. So both the ends are present on both the sides of the queue. I mean we can add and delete the elements on both the ends. So imagine this is your queue. Okay, I can insert the element. I can delete the element. Similarly, this end also I can insert. I can delete. Okay, so both back and flow, what we can do is, suppose I have the queue elements. From both the sides, I can insert as well as I can delete. It has two ends. You are aware of queue will have two ends. So from both the ends, I can do the operations, both the operations, insertion and deletion. From this end also, I can insert the element, I can delete the element. The other end also, I can insert the element, I can delete the element. So only it is called as double-ended queue. So it is called as double-ended queue. So I repeat the types of queues. So attachment should just listen. We have discussed about 4 types of queue. One is simple queue, next circular queue, priority queue, and DQ or double-ended queue. We are aware of queue works in first in, first out fashion. So for the first simple queue, it has two ends, rear end and the front end. To the rear end, the insertion takes place. To the front end, the deletion takes place. Again, we have seen about the circular queue. Circular queue is also a type of queue where the last node, the last element is always pointing to your first element. It works in a circular fashion. Okay, next we have seen about priority queue. Based on some priority, the indexing has been done based on some priority. We assign the priority to the elements. So for few elements we are given highest, the next highest and the least priority. So based on this priority, we can perform insertion and deletion operation. Next, last but not least, we have seen about DQ or double-ended queue. So in double-ended queue, the insertion and deletion takes place at both the ends. So that we call it as double-ended queue. Next, we'll see as we have seen in these stacks. So for in stacks, what we have seen, first we have seen the definition. Next, we have seen the memory representation. Here also in queues again, we'll see the memory representation. Next, we'll see the algorithm, applications and all. So before seeing the representation of the memory representation of queues, let me explain you the operation of queues. Even in the exam point of view, they may ask you the algorithms or else they may ask you the operations on stacks, operations on the data structures or operation on queues. Okay, so we have seen the operations on stacks. Now we'll see the operation on queues. Later we'll move on to the memory representation. So in the operations of queues, students, see first we have queue. So this creates an empty queue, like how we have stacks, it will create an empty stack for you. Queue function call, when you call this operation, when you call this function, it creates an empty stacks for you. Okay, it's empty queue for you. If you call it as a stack, an empty stack will be created. If you call it a queue function call, an empty queue will be created. Now in queue, it is similar to your push. Okay, push what will do, will insert the element into the stacks. Here enqueue is nothing but again here you are inserting an item or the element into your queue. It is similar to your push operation in your stack. So enqueue, what will you do? You insert an element into the queue. So enqueue, what we do? We insert the item or the element into the queue. Through what end we are going to insert? Always I told you insertion takes place at the rear end. So we keep this in your mind when I talk about enqueue. So we need to remember this inserting an element in the element or item into the queue by using a rear end. Now DQ. DQ is similar to your pop. I mean you are removing the element into the queue. So when you remove the item, or the element, that takes place with the help of your front end. So we call that as the DQ. NQ means inserting the element into the queue. DQ means you are removing the item into the queue. So for this we are going to use rear end. For this we are going to use front end. Now is empty. You are going check how we check the overflow and the underflow of the stack. Here also we will check whether the queue is empty or not. So for that you call a function called isEmpty. IsEmpty will tell you that whether the queue is empty or not. Next we go for size of the queue. Size will return the number of elements which is present in the queue. Similar to your stack operation, here also we have size. So size will return the number of elements which is present in the queue, the size of the queue. So I repeat, we have discussed the operation of the queue. We have queue, enqueue, dequeue, isEmpty, size. Okay, in stack also we have stack, we have push, pop, isEmpty, size and peek. Okay, please do remember the operations. Next we will go for the memory representation. So next we will see the memory representation of queues by using arrays, and we have to see again the memory representation of queue using linked list. Okay. So now we see the memory representation of queue using arrays. So here you see I have taken first condition. I will explain you. I have taken a queue. So it is having two ends, front end and the rear end. From rear end I have inserted the elements. From front end I am going to delete the elements. So from the rear end I have inserted A, B, C, D. So my front is equal to 1. My rear where it is pointing to the index 4. I repeat, my front is pointing to 1. So if I want to delete, I can delete from front. If I want to delete, I should increment front. If I want to insert, I have to increment rear. Understanding? If I want to do this, I have to go vice versa. So if I want to insert the element, I need to use the rear end. So if I want to delete, I use the front end. First front is equal to 1, rear is equal to 4. Next again I have, see for insertion I will explain you. Now if I want to insert an element at the fifth position, now front is pointing to 1 here, rear is pointing to 5. So imagine I want to insert the element Q of rear, I am giving the item E. Now E I am inserting at fifth position, so I am using rear is equal to rear plus 1. So it will keep on going in this way. So here I inserted the element E. By using the rear end, I inserted the element E. So rear will become rear plus 1. So for insertion, here I am using an insertion. Which end I am using? I am using rear end. So which end I am incrementing? I am incrementing rear end. Why? Because to this end I have inserted the element E. Next, if I want to delete, now deletion takes place at the front end. So I can't delete E. First I have to go from this side. Why? Because it is having both the ends. So what comes first will be deleted first. So here I want to delete A. So my front will be pointing to 2. My rear will be pointing to 5. Here I have written here. My front is pointing to 2. My rear is pointing to 5. Now I deleted the element A. So here it was here in position 1. Now it is being deleted. When I am doing deletion operation, what I do? Q of front. So what was my Q of front? If I want to delete A, what was my Q of front? Q of 1. Q of 1, what we have? The element A or the item A. So now what your item will have? So your item will have A. So now what gets deleted? A gets deleted. So what will become your friend? Now friend will become friend plus 1. Friend will become friend plus 1. Rear goes on this way. Friend is incremented when I am doing a deletion. Okay. This will be helpful in your NQ and DQ algorithm. This is the logic. So when I delete, I will be telling the Q of friend, I will give it to the item. Now friend will become friend plus 1. This is for deletion. When I give the element to Q of rear, that is for insertion. Okay, so here I am doing rear is equal to rear plus 1. This is about a memory representation. Here you need to talk about two conditions. Before knowing this, you need to talk about two conditions. That is, you will check front and rear. Okay, front and rear. So when front is equal to null, what will happen? All the elements will be deleted. My queue will be empty. When front is equal to null, I can tell when front equal to null. So when front is equal to null, that means the queue is empty. You will check for the queue is underflow. Okay. When rear is equal to n, when rear reaches the n size, when rear reaches the maximum size of your queue, that time you will tell the queue is overflowing. When rear is equal to n or n minus 1, if it starts from 0, if you start storing it from 0, it will be n minus 1. If you start storing it from 1, the index 1, it will be n. So when this reaches the maximum size, we call it as the overflow. Same like your stack, underflow and overflow. Here we check both the ends. For deletion, since we are using front, so when all the elements are deleted, the queue will be empty. So front is equal to null, that means the queue is empty. When rear is equal to n, that means the queue is overflowing, that reaches the maximum size. Next we'll see the memory representation of a queue by using the linked list. So now we'll see the memory representation of linked list. So the memory representation of queue using linked list. So see, I have taken the example of the linked list. How we are going to represent the queue by using linked list. Has stored the element 50, 25 and 20. So we know that queue linked list contains two parts. One is the data part and the info part. Next we have the link field. The link field will have the address of the next node. The data field or the info field will have the element. I repeat, the data field, here we used to have the information or the element which has to be stored. Here we will have the address of the next element or the next node. Now this is your front end and this is your rear end. Through this we can insert, through front end we can delete. Since queue has both the ends, now I am going to do an insertion. So you can guess where do I insert and which end I use. So if I want to insert the element, imagine I want to insert 75. Now my element is 75, I want to insert here. Where should I insert? If I have an element 75, I have to insert at the rear end. So my insertion, so it will be same like this. I have an head field, I have header, then I have the element. First I have element 50, then I have 25, next I have 20. So here, instead of null, you just link to your another element to rear end. I am giving the address of this field, the next node 75. Here I will have null. Okay, now this is your rear end. Okay, so to your rear end, that means by using the rear end, I inserted. Now this is your front. So by using your rear, I added a new item called 75. I removed the null part here from 20. I am linking this node to the next node, that is 75. Now your rear is pointing here. Okay. So now your 20 is pointing to the address of the next field. Okay. Next, this is about insertion. That means I added an element at the rear end. That is the element to be added is 75. Next is deletion. Okay. Now here only I tell you, when I want to delete, what will happen in the deletion part? So obviously I have to delete here. What is your first come first serve? So your first element to be inserted was 50. Now I removed that. Okay. Now I removed that. This is your head field. It will be like this. Now this will be your front. Okay. So when I use a deletion, it always takes place from the front. When I do an insertion, it takes from the rear. This is about the memory representation of linked list, of queues, as well as the memory representation of queues by using arrays. This is the memory representation of queues using linked list. We have inserted the element into a rear and we deleted by using front. Good morning students, like we was doing the revision of data structures. So in this class, today's class will discuss about queues. Last class we discussed about stacks and we have seen the operations, we have seen the algorithm, as well as we have seen the expression evaluation, that is arithmetic expressions, how to evaluate those and how to convert the given infix expression to postfix expressions we have seen. So any expression, usually they give infix expression to convert into a postfix expression. So in that we have seen the algorithms and we have seen the conditions. So first we have to assign the precedence to the priority to the operators. Based on the precedence of priority, we'll just what we will do, based on the precedence of priority, we'll do insertion and we'll do insert in the stacks. If you encounter an operator, it has to be inserted into the stack. If you encounter an operand, it has to go to your output. If it's an operator, it has to go to your stack, and based on the precedence, we pop out the operators from the stacks and put it onto your output. Okay. So after discussing the conversion of an expression, we next concept will move to queues. So what is queue? Queue is also a data structure. It is an ordered collection of elements or items where the elements are inserted at the one end, we call it as a rear end. The elements which are deleted at the other end, which we call it as a front end. So the very good example for queues is students those are standing in the cafeteria. So they are standing in the queue. The students who comes first will be served first. So first come, first serve. First in, first out is an example for queue. Okay. So in the regular videos also I have just explained in detail the definition for queue. Queue is an ordered collection of elements where the insertion and deletion takes place at two different ends. So insertion takes place at rear end and deletion takes place at the front end. Okay. So next we will discuss, we have discussed about the types of queues. Okay, there are 4 types of queues, and each and every queue we have seen in this detail. So the types of queues, we have 4 types of queues. One is simple queue, circular queue, priority queue, and DQ, which is also called as double-ended queue. So I explain each and every queue in detail with the diagram. So while explaining, you just explain it with you just mention the queue definition for queue, then types of queue, then what is simple queue, then we have to explain with the diagram. Actually, when you are writing, when you are answering for the exam point of view, you will not, most of the time students won't draw the diagram, but the actually diagram also carries marks here. Once after you write the definitions, you need to write a relevant diagram. Okay, so what is simple queue? Simple queue is a queue where the elements are inserted at the rear end and the elements which are deleted, it will be deleted at the front end. Okay, so what do you mean by circular queue? The last, the end of the queue, again it will be pointing to your starting node. It will be pointing to the first element of the queue. The end of the queue will be again pointing to the first element of the queue. We'll call it that as a circular queue. Next we have priority queue. Priority queue, it contains the items which hold some priority. Based on the priority, we can do some operations. So for that condition, they have given you the priority queue. Next we have double-ended queue. So to and fro can be possible with the help of double-ended queue, where the deletion and the insertion can take place at both the ends. Okay, so both ends has the capability to insert as well as to delete. These are about the types of queues we have seen. Next, we have to see about the operations of queues. Okay, during the operations of queues, we have our first examples. Even in the stack, the first operations of the queue is queue. Here in queue, it is queue. In stack, it is stack. So when you call the queue function, like this, when you call the queue function, okay, so in the queue function, it creates a new queue that is empty, and it needs no parameter and returns an empty queue. Next, we have seen enqueue an item. So when you enqueue an item, it adds a new element into a queue. Enqueue and dequeue. Dequeue will delete, it's for removal. Enqueue is used for inserting the element into a queue. Next, after enqueue we have dequeue. Next we have isEmpty. IsEmpty function call when you give, it will check whether the queue is empty or not. Next we have size. Size returns the number of items, that the maximum number of items that can be inserted into a queue, and it needs no parameter and no returns, and it returns an integer. It needs no parameter and it returns an integer. That is about the size function call. So how many types of operations we have seen in queue? We have queue, we have enqueue, we have dequeue, isEmpty, and size. Okay, so these are the operations of queues. Same type of operation in stacks. We have stack, we have peek, push, pop, isEmpty, and size. Here instead of push and pop, we have enqueue and dequeue. The special operation is that we have peek in stacks, but here in queues we don't have peek. Other than that, we have queue, enqueue, dequeue, isEmpty, and size. Okay, so next we have seen about the memory representation. So the memory representation also I have explained in detail. I have explained in detail in a regular class. So there are 2 ways of representing the queues in the memory. So one is by using arrays, next one is by using linked list. So we are aware of the linked list concept. By arrays, we know that arrays it is static and linked list it's dynamic. So here also we implement, how can we implement or how can we represent the memory of a queue by using arrays in the sense, here we have front end as well as the rear end. The insertion takes place at the rear end, the deletion takes place at the front end. So every time when you are doing insertion, you will increment to the rear, rear becomes rear plus 1. So when you dequeue it, when you just want to delete it, that time we just use front operator, front, okay, we just increment or decrement the front, we just increment the front operator. Okay, next we have the memory representation of queue using linked list. So we know the linked list concept. Linked list contains two fields. One is the info field or data field. Next one is the link field. The link field will have address to the next node. The data field will contain the item or element to be inserted. Okay. So here also we have in the start, here we call it as a header start. It contains the first node address. So the last field of your linked list will be null. That means it will not be pointing to any other node in the linked list. Okay, when the last field is null, that means the linked list ends there. Okay, next we have this is about the memory representation of queues. So this is the revision class. This is about our revision class. So if you have any doubts, you can get back to me. You can put it in your assignment question. So what I want to tell is, I have given you the assignment questions. In the assignment question, first write the what is queue. I have put 4 questions. What is queue and types of queue. Next, operations on queue. The next is you have to explain the memory representation separately in detail. One is for stacks and one is for linked list. Okay. In the next class, we'll see the algorithm for NQ, DQ as well as the applications of queues. Okay. Thank you.
Before getting into the assignment questions, we'll just see that what are the topics we have been covered. We have covered definition for queues, types of queues, operations of queues, memory representation of queues using linked lists, memory representation of queues using an arrays. These are the topics which have been covered in today's class. Now let us see what are the questions for assignment questions. In today's assignment questions, we have only 5-mark questions. We'll see what are the questions. Question number 1. What is queues? Explain its types. Second question. Explain the operations on queues. Third question. Explain the memory representation of a queues using an arrays. Fourth question. Explain the memory representation of a queues using linked lists. We'll come again. The first question is, what is queues? Explain its types. Second question, explain the operations on queues. Third question, explain the memory representation of a queues using an arrays. Fourth question, explain the memory representation of a queues using linked list. Here we have 4 questions based on 5-mark questions. Thank you, students. We'll see you in next session. Thank you.